Peace to the YouTube fam. Peace to the Bulldogger universe. Peace to the Cam Glomerati. It's your boy Ray Imperial, the Flame Keeper, back with another edition of the Imperial Diaries. So lately we've been spending a lot of time inside. As y'all can see, man, the weather has been somewhat less than permitting. So spending that time inside, man, gotta let the pups kind of get their energy out. And tell the truth, man, letting Raina and Solo wrestle in this fashion has always been something that we did um, since I started allowing him to interact with her. And that's largely because she is, you know, so boisterous and so energetic. So we wanted to wait till Solo was good size and age before, where he could kind of take a pounding from a bigger dog. Um, and also we wanted to make sure that his temperament could stand it, right? Like he wouldn't become uh, discouraged. And when we first started out with this, man, obvious to a duck that Raina was the more powerful dog, the more athletic dog, the more agile dog, um, and with her superior strength and power, coordination and the like, she would just really kind of run roughshod over my boy, you know. And I never really saw him give up. You know, Solo has proved to be a very resilient dog, man. And from the days, man, when we first really started letting them interact and play like that, um, I've watched him steadily grow stronger, and it's kind of what you look for in the development of your dog, especially around this age. Solo's right at that 11-month stage. Just turned 11 months. He'll be a year next month, middle of the month. So we're looking for increased strength. We're looking for increased agility, increased coordination, increased balance. We're looking for him to be able to better handle his weight. Before, Raina used to throw her weight on him and it would just like pin him to the ground and he couldn't do nothing. He couldn't get up. He couldn't get his way out of it. None of that. Uh, and you see an example of that in this video here to my right, where Raina's just giving him the business. But in this other video, in the slow-mo video, you see they both kind of go head to head, and it's Raina who ends up giving up ground, right? It's Solo who ends up taking the top, putting his weight on Raina, pressing her down to the ground, and assuming the top position. So this is something that is it's very good to see in terms of his development. Um, Raina, however, must be kind of going through that thing. If you ever had a big sister, like the day she realized she could no longer whoop you, right? The day she realized that if you really wanted to, you could put it on her. Like, I think Raina had that day today, right? um, which is perfectly okay because it's expected, right? We expect Solo to continue to grow stronger, grow more powerful, grow more agile, become better coordinated, better balanced, all of those things. He's going to get faster. And then, of course, he's not through growing. At 11 months, he is far from through growing. We can only imagine what Solo looks like completely filled out at, say, 3.5 years old, 4 years old. Um, but in the meantime, we're going to do what we do here at Imperial, man, which is build better bulldogs. One of my concerns about the Camelot line is that these dogs are so good looking, so beautiful. Many people have, acquired these dogs and they become showpieces. You don't hear a whole lot about people working the Camelot stock anymore. Shout out to people like Jeff Benenson, who's always, working his, always working his dogs. Um, so some of the things that we have noticed, you know, he's definitely not only increased in his physical strength, and you see that he has very good muscle tone. And we talk about he's not really working out right now, right? This is really just playing. So his muscle tone is coming together really nicely. Um, there was a point where the boy just sprouted. He just kind of blossomed, and we're in that stage now, so we're making sure that we feed that up real nice. Um, the other thing about him is that he has a very thick skin. He has proved to be amazingly resilient. If you look at how Rain is just outright trouncing him in this video to the right, you see, like, for him to really be able to get up and want to play again and want to go at it again and want to mount again, like either he's very dense, right, or he's very determined. And so we definitely like that. We see an increase in assertiveness in him, in taking control of the situation. He's definitely learned that mouth moves mouth. You know what I mean? When she grabbed him and she pinning him a certain way, he's learned to go ahead and get him a grip himself, and see if he can, you know, bring some separation to that thing. So, along with his increased muscle tone and assertiveness, you know, we're seeing his skill set develop, right? He's definitely doing better with the skill set, man, in terms of how he defends. Now before there are times before she can put her mouth on him. You know what I mean? He's blocking it with his mouth and things like that. And these are things that are very important in the development of a dog, right? Now we're talking about hunting coyote. We're talking about an animal that when it grabs its prey, it's used to consuming its prey head to tail on the spot, feathers, bones, and everything, right? Those are pretty powerful jaws. Those are pretty powerful jaws. So, um, yeah, they do need to learn these little motor skills here, man, and learn how to defend themselves against certain things. All of this stuff is very, very important. Um, so that's kind of where we at with it right now. You know what I mean? It's gonna be very interesting to see the dynamics that play out as Reina goes into her next heat, for which obviously we plan to breed her. And Solo will actually be a year old, uh, if I'm not mistaken, by the time she goes into her next heat. He'll be about a year old. So he should be at least a year old. Let me say it that way. And although obviously he's not going to get bred at all, that's not going to happen. Um, you know, he's a year old, right? And he shows a very real determination to want to breed. In fact, all of this frolicking that you see between them is really just about him trying to climb on her and mount her. And obviously, she ain't ready for nothing like that. She ain't bleeding yet. But I suspect that it's coming soon. You know, so we're gonna be looking at doing that breeding soon. There's another breeding that we're trying to line up. Not sure exactly how it's gonna work, when it's gonna work, where it's gonna work, but it's gonna work because it has to. And that's just the long and short of it. Now, you'll see that despite, some arenas moves and, she outright grabs him, man. Like she's not breaking skin or anything. But none of this is discouraging for him. He don't care about none of that. But he's looking really good. He's filling out really nice. I mean, the boy is just, he's really looking phenomenal right now. So we do have some very, very high hopes for Solo, though I'm just not sure exactly how we want to use him yet. Um, as far as the female that we're going to use, the jury's still out on that. Um, KBF Pitts just dropped 4 times animal litter, uh, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that. But there's also some other things that I've been looking at in terms of just making sure my program is what I need and want it to be. And that's something that, you know, patronizing good breeders and you know, locking in your bloodlines. All there's a place for all of that. Um, but there is also a place for getting to work, and in terms of a truly good working dog, uh, the line is going to have some challenges. The line I'm developing is going to have some challenges. Um, you know, fact is, coyotes can run, believe top speeds of over 40 miles an hour, uh, and they cover like 15-mile territories. So I'll be the first to acknowledge that, you know, if we start with those numbers, we would have a monumental conditioning goal on our hands, right? To get dogs up to 40 miles an hour, um, and to do that for an extended period of time, like that's asking for a lot. That's asking for a lot. So I'm not going to pretend that it's something that's immediately coming, but it is something, man, that we are going to be building our program towards. Let's put it that way, right? Um, a lot of times, in order to know where to start, you have to know what the end is. Uh, Also, um, speaking of the program and the line, it starts with these two here. Starts with Bull and with Raina. Um, and again, we do have some other stuff planned, some other stuff coming, so we'll keep y'all abreast of that. But the line will start with Bull and with Raina. And we're expecting some pretty flashy pups. Uh, Bull's mother is white gold, and he has a brother named Titan. And Titan is a very, very good example of exactly what can come from a dog like white gold. Uh, White gold is, she is very athletic, pretty much all white, with the exception of, or she was all white, with the exception of, a small dot over her eye and over her tail on her back, I believe. And so there you see a picture of Titan, who, looked just like his mother, White Gold, in some sense, uh, but had his father's build. And that in itself is a very, like when you look at the pups that he threw, you know, you have some pups out of Royal Kennels, that give you a good idea of what comes off a Titan. And so it is a very similar breeding, right? In terms of the blood going in. Uh, and bear in mind that not only does Bull come off of Havoc to White Gold, but Reina also has Havoc to White Gold in her pedigree. So, yeah, we expect some pretty flashy pups. We wouldn't be surprised at some piebald coat patterns, as well as some solid dogs, some solid blonde dogs, Reina's color, and hoping for some good, nice, deep reds, Bull's color. And you know, that's our plans for the future, man. That's kind of what it's looking like for Imperial Flame Kennels. Looking back over the past year, uh, we've had some interesting developments and uh, milestones. I think this channel's gone like in the last, I don't know, year from like 1,000 to 4,000 subscribers or something. So definitely shout out to all the subscribers, new and old, who have taken the time to chill out with us and spend some time with us and see what we do around here, see exactly where we're headed, what we hope to achieve for the future. Um, for those of you that are really interested in, a pup off this breeding, uh, Rob, you locked in. Haven't heard from my boy Dev Hardy in a while. Hopefully, my boy's still out there. He's still all right. Um, but yeah, I got y'all locked in. And we're gonna take care of baby girl and make sure that she has the very best care, very best opportunity um, to deliver as many pups, big beautiful pups as possible. I'm very excited to see what hits the ground. Honestly, um, I think she's gonna be an amazing mother. So we just got a lot to do, man. Just got a lot to do, man. We are looking forward to it, and it's one of those things that if you can see the bright light at the end of the road, we invite you to come and join us. I mean, the landscape is amazing going into 2022, and we definitely want to invite all of you to come along for the journey. This journey is a journey of 1,000 miles. We're not gonna stop here. No end in sight. We off into the horizon, and that is as it should be. But I want to thank y'all for taking this time to spend with me. I'm your host, Ray Imperial, keeper of the flame, and this has been another page from the Imperial Diaries. Keep the heat.